Hey, folks, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, October 5th, and we are continuing our generosity month and walking through our prayer calendar. So turn your Bibles to the Gospel of Mark, Matthew, Mark. Mark is the second book in the New Testament. And chapter 12 is where we are going today. Chapter 12, verse 41. Great little story. And the prayer team has asked us to think about giving wholeheartedly today. So, Mark chapter 12, verse 41. Jesus sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums. A poor widow came and put in two small copper coins, which are worth a penny. Then he called his disciples and said to them, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the treasury. For all of them have contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." Now, two things I would encourage you to think about with this passage. Number one, perhaps this passage isn't really about money, and this passage is about discipleship. And what Jesus is asking his disciples to do is to give all of their lives, right? As the widow did in the story, all of her money. What we are asked to give as disciples of Jesus is all of us, all of our time, all of our talent, all of our energy, all of our money, all of our devotion, all of it. Okay, that's one way I think that we can think about this passage. Another way we could think about this passage in terms of finances is he does say the people of wealth put in large sums of money. But of course, they were giving out of their abundance, and they still have an abundance left, right? I mean, when a person of wealth gives a lot of money, gives a tithe, 10% of their wealth, they still have a lot of wealth left. And so rather, maybe the best measure would not be the amount of our giving, but rather the amount of our sacrifice. That is what is pleasing. I think about that, the amount of your giving or the amount of your sacrifice, right? So a person with a ton of wealth who gives 10%, they have sacrificed very little because they're still have a ton of wealth. It will not, the 10% they gave will not affect their standard of living in any way. The person who's poor, who gives a tithe, obviously doesn't give very much money, but every penny counts when you're poor. And so the sacrifice those people give is way more than the sacrifice at the other end of the pay scale. So that's sort of what this story is getting at. That's different language than what's used here in the text. But let's think not about our level of giving, but rather our level of sacrifice. God bless. Have a great day.